Hello everybody out there watching on YouTube, and welcome to race number 5 of Season 6 of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series. I'm Levi McIntyre, the voice of the NNSCRA Marvel Studios Cup Series, here to welcome you to the Auto Club 400 here at California Speedway, as we're getting set for 30 laps of racing here at this 2-mile racetrack. But before we take a look at the starting lineup, let's take a look at how the point standings look coming into the race today. So after last week at the Pensacola Roval, Cole Devers still has the points lead, but leads by 11 points over both James Qualls and Michael Norman. Fourth is Jonathan Zorling, fifth Cody Lamas, sixth is James Shelley, seventh Anthony McCrory, eighth Jake Baskinger, ninth Zachary Fitzwater, and then a tie for 10th between Rob Evans and Carson Gum. So that is a look at the top 10 in the points. Starting lineup time, starting in the last row, is Kyle Matthews and Dylan Young. Top 10, Chris Dollarton is on the pole for today, and I want to say that this is his first pole this season. Starting next to him is Jay Jefferson. Row 2, Melissa Alexander and Joey Parkhill. Row 3, Zachary Fitzwater, Tim Fiegel. Row 4, James Shelley, Dylan Jacobs, and then row 5, DJ Curtis and Emmanuel Hartnett. Let's get the command to fire engines for the Auto Club 400 at California.
Drivers, start your engines!
All 40 drivers on the racetrack for their one pace lap. Now, we were at Michigan after Daytona earlier this season, and both tracks are very similar yet different in certain ways. Similarities in terms of banking and the length of the racetrack and the shape of the racetrack. However, the difference is, with this version of California, it's a little more slick, so we could see more wrecks, possibly, here in this race, considering the surface is a little more slick compared to Michigan, whereas Michigan was more of a repaved version. This is more of an older style surface, and also with it being hot out in Southern California and the sun beating down on the racetrack, and not so much as far as rubber on the track, can probably cause these drivers to slip and slide a little bit, but we'll see how it all turns out as the pace car is in pit road. So ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. It's time to boogity 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 go racing. Melissa Alexander actually led the first lap and got a little bit of a draft help from her husband. Joey Parkhill is also her teammate, as right now Melissa hangs on to the lead, but right behind her is one of the contenders from last week at the Pensacola Roval, James Shelley. Shelley was so close to winning last week. Looking for redemption here this week, but underneath is one of Melissa's teammates, Caleb Kilburn, in that number 99, as he's trying to get up to second right now. And now might actually try to go for the lead for himself, as right behind him in the line is Benjamin Miles in the 22 as he breaks away from the 99 as far as being behind him, and now is trying to run the bottom to get the run on the 99. He's going to have it, but can he get by him off of 4? I don't know. The outside lane off of turn 4 does get the bigger run. So, similar to Daytona in that off of turn 4, the outside line gets the bigger run, but off of turn 2, it's the inside line that gets the bigger run as Miles clears Kilburn for the top spot on the racetrack. Right now it's Fords 1, 2, and 3 with Phil Parker up here in 3rd. And now DJ Curtis going to try and make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 for Fords. 2 out of those 4 up there are teammates, Phil Parker and DJ Curtis, whereas Caleb Kilburns for Average Joe Enterprises and Benjamin Miles for Young Motorsports. And I see the caution is out, and I hear car scraping. Got a multi-car accident that just happened. Joey Parkhill with damage. Although Carson Gum gets turned, and Joey Parkhill's collected. I was trying to say it looked like McCrory was in it. Charles Sanford was involved. Matt McIntyre also with some damage. Multi-car crash brings out the caution for the first time here at California. It was bound to happen one way or another because every time we go into turn 1, it's turn 1 that's the trouble spot of this racetrack. If you're 4 or 5 wide leaning on each other, there's bound to be a wreck. And as all that happened, Caleb Kilburn took the lead back and now leads us under caution. So let's go ahead and take a look at the replay of what brought the caution out for the first time today here at California. So here's a look at what happened. So they were 4 wide, and Matt McIntyre, for whatever reason, decides to run the 26 of Joey Parkhill out of room going through the front stretch to turn 1 and just turns up into the 26. I find that to be a very, very questionable crash because the 14 had plenty of room to give to the 26. There you see Charles Sanford get stuck in there, and there was even some contact between Emmanuel Hartnett and Dylan Jacobs and James Qualls, but those 3 managed to save it. And then Anthony McCrory just had nowhere to go. He was committed to the outside and got into the back of the 03. But then watch as the 70 of Qualls comes back up the racetrack to get back going. Little bit of contact with Jordan Forbes and then into Carson Gum. And this is what sets off the second crash as Carson gets turned and comes up in front of the 26 of Parkhill, who was already involved in the wreck at the start and then ends up with severe front end damage. Let's actually look at the mile per hour rating for the 26 because he hit hard twice. 150 right there and then about 130 into the wall. So 2 hard hits for the 26 right there. And I think that might end up putting him out of the race. Maybe, maybe not. He could still continue, but I'll be shocked if he manages to continue. But anyways, let's take you to the restart here at California. As expected, 1 car out of the race after that crash, and that was Joey Parkhill in the 26. So his tough start to the season continues, which is unfortunate. But let's take a look at the field as we're getting ready to come to 21 to go here at California. Caleb Kilburn has the race lead. Second is Phil Parker. Third is Benjamin Miles. Fourth, DJ Curtis. Fifth, Cole Baker. Sixth is Jonathan Zorling. Seventh, Rob Evans. Eighth, Michael Norman. Ninth, Johnny Gardner. 10th, Jessica Shelton. 11th is Joshua Sekuli. 12th, Jake Rogers. 13th, Rafael Leduc. 14th, Kyle Matthews. 15th, Jay Jefferson. 16th, Bradley Zorgdrager. 17th, Melissa Alexander. 18th is Logan Bradley. 19th is Chris Dollarton. 20th is James McLeod. 21st, Zachary Fitzwater. 22nd, Tim Fiegel. 23rd, James Shelley. 24th, Cody Lamas. 25th, Jake Baskinger. 26th, Dylan Potee. 27th, Seth Cole. 28th, Trent Dunham. 29th, Cole Deaver. 30th, Dylan Young. 31st, Dylan Jacobs. 32nd, Jordan Forbes. 33rd, Joshua Collard. 34th is Emmanuel Hardnett. 35th, Anthony McCrory. 36th, Matt McIntyre. 37th, Charles Sanford. 38th, James Qualls. And 39th, Carson Gum, as the green flag is back out. 21 to go at California. Already some challenging going on as Benjamin Miles with the run on the inside of the 99 again. As it's a 4-car breakaway up here at the front, and 4 of them are Fords, 2 of them are teammates, the 4 and the 00. But right now the 22 with that push from the 4 of DJ Curtis going to take the lead and lead this lap, although the 99 still hanging on the outside. As DJ Curtis might get the advantage running that bottom groove, but the 22 blocked him, which was a smart move. But now the 4, if he can get some help from behind, he can make a run on the 22, but is now going to fall in line behind the 22 as here comes the 00 and the 99, 3 wide for second now. But here comes some new contenders, including another Curtis McIntyre racing car in Jonathan Zorline and Rob Evans. Rob Evans had a solid run last week at the Pensacola Roval, right now having another good day running up here in the top 10 here in the first half of the race. Daytona 500 winner Michael Norman, who's moved up to third in points over the course of the last couple of races after having a couple of slumps. Right now running well, although he's about to get passed by a few cars, Jessica Shelton being one of them, and Joshua Zakuli, former series champion, up here into the picture as well. But meanwhile, back up at the front, Benjamin Miles still leads the way over the 99 of Caleb Kilburn. But now the 99 with that big move to the inside. Can he get by the 22 here? Still side by side for position. Phil Parker looking to find a way around his teammate DJ Curtis. And in turn, trying to help the 99 get to the front. And now it's 3 wide for the race lead. Miles, Kilburn, and Parker. But it was Kilburn who led that lap, as Parker couldn't quite keep the run going on the front stretch, but still has a run here in 1 and 2. Trying to find a run underneath the 99, but just isn't able to get any draft help. The draft can be a bit of a factor at tracks that are bigger than 2 miles. 2 miles or bigger, I should say. As Caleb Kilburn holding them off, as meanwhile Benjamin Miles trying to get by the 4 of DJ Curtis. But man, look at that outside lane and how big of a run it got off of turn 4. It's like I said, it's turn 2, you want to be coming off on the inside. Turn 4, you want to go off the outside line. And it also depends on if you have cars behind you to help you get that momentum going. Kilburn still leading. Parker he was almost touching that white line, trying to find a way around the 99, but doesn't quite make it stick. 3 wide again for second between Parker, Curtis, and Miles, as this race has just been pretty much these 4 battling it out back and forth. But you gotta wonder, when will these drivers have to come into pit road, because none of these cars pitted under caution 10 laps ago. And we're past the halfway point, so it's guaranteed that whenever they decide to come to pit road, they're going to be good on fuel for the rest of the race. It's just a matter of when they have to come in. And I think we're about to get our answer, as I think Chris Dollerton was the first one. Yep, he, along with Zordragger, Shelley, Forbes, and McIntyre, all elect to come into pit road early, just past the halfway point. But the rest of the drivers still running on the racetrack. As look at some of these Curtis McIntyre Racing teammates running up here in the top 10 right now. The odd man out is one of the co-owners, Matt McIntyre, who was involved in that earlier incident, running towards the back as Kilburn elected to come in, but DJ Curtis electing to stay out an extra lap. But Kilburn, Miles Parker, among others, come into the pits this time. In fact, the majority of the field came in. The only ones that are still out are the 4, the 88, 41, 02, 10, 9, 56, 20, and 1. With the 4 of DJ Curtis right now holding them off for the race lead, but it looks like everyone's coming into the pits this time. It's just a matter of who had a faster stop and got onto the track quick enough to stay ahead of certain drivers. We'll see how that all turns out. But Emmanuel Hartnett's staying out another lap. He's banking on a quick caution to come out so he could cycle around as the race lead. Or as the race leader, I should say. Meanwhile, I want to say that the first car to get out of that second group of cars, yeah, it was the 99 of Caleb Kilburn. But let's see about with the vicinity of the 4 of DJ Curtis to the 99. I don't know. I think the 99 is going to be able to get by. Unless the 4 can hurry up, get up to speed, and get in front of that 99 car. I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be close, but I think the 99 is going to get the spot back. Just barely the 99 gets that spot back, although you still got the 20 of Hartnett, who is still scored as the race leader. And he's easily going to get bypassed by the 99, considering he's just now getting out of the pits. And everything has cycled back around as it should be. As we're coming to 10 laps to go here at California, when we get to the line, it will be 10 to go. Let's see the field as it stands now. Excuse me for a second. Little drink of water to prepare for this. But the field as it stands now, Caleb Kilburn is your race leader. Second is Benjamin Miles. Third, DJ Curtis. Fourth, Jessica Shelton. Fifth is Phil Parker. Sixth is Rob Evans. Seventh, Chris Dollerton. Eighth, Rafael Leduc. Ninth, Joshua Sekuli. 10th, Cole Baker. 11th is Jay Jefferson. 12th, Bradley Zordrager. 13th is Joshua Collard. 14th, Jake Rogers. 15th, Melissa Alexander. 16th, Emmanuel Hartnett. 17th, Jordan Forbes. 18th, Johnny Gardner. 19th, Dylan Young. 20th, James Shelley. 21st is Jonathan Zorline. 22nd is Trent Dunham. 23rd, Dylan Potey. 24th, James Qualls. 25th, Jake Baskinger. 26th is Matt McIntyre. 27th is Kyle Matthews. Yes, 27th. 28th, Charles Sanford. 29th, Seth Cole. 30th is the current points leader, Cole Deaver. 31st, Logan Bradley. 32nd is Anthony McCrory. 33rd, Carson Gum. 34th, Dylan Jacobs. And then 35th is Tim Fiegel. And currently the rest of the bottom 5 would be Zachary Fitzwater, Michael Norman, James McLeod, and Cody Lamas, along with Joey Parkhill. Back up here at the front, a battle for the lead between the two dominant cars of the day, Benjamin Miles and Caleb Kilburn. 99 and 22 still battling, but the 22 now has the race lead back, and now DJ Curtis back up into contention, and even Phil Parker starting to peek his way into the picture a little bit. As we come to the line, it'll be 6 laps to go. Six to go here in the Auto Club 400 at California. Benjamin Miles looking for his first win of the season. Side by side for second between DJ Curtis and Caleb Kilburn, as, like I said, this race has been an ongoing saga between the top 4 all day. Miles, Kilburn, Curtis, and Parker. Benjamin Miles trying to block as much as he can in hopes that he can hang on to the spot that he's currently in hopes to win here at this racetrack. As far as where we're heading to next time, we're heading to Las Vegas for the Pennzoil 400 this Wednesday. And then later in the week, it's Bermuda, our second restrictor plate race of the season. So we'll be going back to the plate race package for Bermuda, which should make for an interesting and exciting event. Meanwhile, battle for the lead, Phil Parker, who has been trying to get to the lead, now has a shot at it as he's to the inside of the 22, but like I said, that outside lane gets more speed off the corner, but the 00 managed to lead that lap. 4 laps to go here at California. And if these guys continue to fight for the spots as much as they have, perhaps we could see other contenders like Joshua Sekuli up here battling. But Phil Parker has a little bit of a gap between himself and the 22. It's just a matter of if he can continue to hold them off and win this race. But the 22 starting to reel in the 00 again, as it's now 3 laps to go here at California. And there's actually a huge breakaway that ends with, this pack ends with Rob Evans and then back here to Jake Rogers. So the top 12 are up there in a pack right now, as Joshua Sekuli's trying to look for a way to get around teammate DJ Curtis to get up to 4th. Phil Parker hanging on strong on the race lead. 2 laps to go, though, and Benjamin Miles is reeling in the 00 again. And if he can somehow find a way to close in the 00 and dive down to the inside and get some cars behind him, he may have a shot at it. But Phil Parker, ever since getting to the race lead, he's had that margin and that advantage of having that clean air to keep himself up here at the front. Coming out of turn number 4, and we're about to take the white flag for Phil Parker. White flag is waving, 1 to go here at California. Phil Parker's lead grew a little bit, although they're getting really racy from 4th on back. Oh, little contact between Jessica Sheldon and Jay Jefferson. A little bump and run action right there, as the 02 trying to get as much positions as she possibly can. Jessica Shelton, that is, up to 4th, but Jay Jefferson might try and pay her back as he's trying to find a way around the 02, but doesn't quite make it stick, and off of 4, it's gonna be Phil Parker for the win. Checkered flag, Phil Parker wins the Auto Club 400 at California. First win of the season for Phil Parker, and maybe the first win in his Marvel Studios Cup Series career, possibly. I have to look back on that. But nonetheless, Phil Parker gets his first W of Season 6. But man, what a good race we had here today. And only 1 caution, which is typically the standard here. But let's look at the rest of the results. Benjamin Miles, one of the dominant cars of the day, comes through with a 2nd place finish. Caleb Kilburn, the highest finishing rookie, and maybe the dominant car of the day overall, finishing in third. Jessica Sheldon with that bump and run on the 87 of Jay Jefferson to get to the fourth position, and then Jay Jefferson rounding out the top five. Chris Dollerton, despite not leading a lap, still got a great run in that sixth position. Joshua Sekuli with a great run in seventh. Cole Baker, solid performance in eighth. Bradley Zordrager in ninth. And then DJ Curtis just kind of lost speed at the end and finished in the 10th position. Rest of the top 20 you see on your screen. And then your top 30. And then the bottom 5 for this week were Zachary Fitzwater, Carson Gum, Cody Lamas, Anthony McCurry, and then one car out of the race after the only caution, Joey Parkhill. So, tough day for those guys, but congrats to Phil Parker. Next time we'll be heading to Las Vegas for a huge gamble with the Pennzoil 400. But until then, here are your results. Rookie points and regular points heading into Las Vegas. And this is Levi McIntyre signing off.